kicking off spring fever with Ken today, and he is putting together the most beautiful mantelscape to help us celebrate the season. I'm excited about this, Ken.
I'm so glad that we are officially saying winter's over, because I was done with it.
Boy,
done with it.
We've been done with it for a while. I know you people on the East Coast.
You're still dealing with it, but it'll be there soon. Hold on.
Oh my goodness.
Right, so the house looks great. Like, it's gotten turned over. We've got tulips in spring. It's here. The only thing that's left is our mantle. So I wanted to sort of do that with you folks at home. One thing I am doing here is that everything I'm using, I'm creating this mantle, everything we've already had in the house. So you're going to see things you've seen in other DIYs, projects, things in other corners of the house. I went through, sort of combed the house, grabbed a bunch of stuff, and we're going to assemble into a wonderful spring bounty.
Fabulous and frugal. We say it all the time.
That's how I work.
You need to start a line, fabulous and frugal.
F&F,
it's
Ken.
all yours. I love it. So what's the first thing we do?
So we're going to start with the wreath. So I'm using this boxwood wreath. It's faux. You can also get them out of preserved greenery. They're a little bit darker. I love boxwood wreaths because to me they're traditional, yet the cleanness is very modern. We had this up during the holidays. There's actually, you can see a little sprayed snow that I dusted off of it. So we're going to do that. Now, often people will find if you're using things from one part of the house to another, the scale may not work. I think we had this up on a small wall in the den. Now on this big wall, it looks lost.
It looks a little small.
So a little trick, you might have seen us do this in other places in the house. We've been using a lot of picture frames as wreaths.
Right.
So I went into our garage and I found this old frame. If you want to quickly look at the back, you can see that the finish used to be this dark gold, very formal. All I did was take some craft paint in white and khaki.
Dry brush?
Dry brush that on there. I got a piece of faux foliage, and okay, I lied. I did buy one thing. I bought this wire, this fuzz-colored wire that I found at the craft store, which you undo, and then I just wrapped. That's all this is. All this is that wire wrapped around.
So Ken?
Yep.
You spent $4.
I spent $4. I spent $4.
How dare you?
And then all of a sudden, with that little bit of faux foliage and that wire, and I'm just going to hang that.
Interesting, that way. Okay.
Around our, let me get this on there, around our wreath. So all of a sudden, the proportions have changed. So now that wreath is one unit, and we're taking up much more space.
That's really beautiful. And I will say, I love how you've taken, because a lot of these wreaths, and people may have wreaths at home, the ones that you can stick things in and take things out are so versatile.
Right, because the ones that are decorated, you spend a ton of money and then you can't use them. This one you can use season after season, just add to it. So next, these candlesticks I've used a lot. I love them. I think they're beautiful. They adapt very easily. But I need to freshen them up. I used them last week. I've used them a few times this season. So instead of putting candles, I'm going to put these moss balls on top. Now, you can buy these at the craft store, but I have showed you all probably 5 or 6 years ago how to make them. And it's just get whatever styrofoam balls you have lying around your craft room. They can be in horrible shape. And then get your bag of sheet moss. And then all you're going to do, hot glue, wrap it around, piece it together. If it's not holding, just get some string, some thread, and wrap green thread around it. You won't notice, and all of a sudden you'll get balls. If you've got it in the budget, if you're a crazy rich person, go out and you can buy them for like $4 or $5 bucks.
But you can see that as well, the green, and you'll never see it because it's...
Exactly, and that sort of holds them all together. So Debbie, if you want to bring those over to me.
Balls.
And so
not mothballs, moss balls.
And what I'm going to do with these, just to do something different, is all I'm going to do is balance them on top of our candlesticks.
Oh, we have one more. Here you go.
There we go. Thank you. And we'll put that one down here. Now, to add it a little bit different, for this last one, if you want to hand me that little bird's nest and that moss and that metal bird there.
Okay.
For the third candlestick, exactly, all I've done is taken a little nest that we had in our Easter basket, a little bit of moss, this little metal bird.
That is so cute.
Which was in our bin of stuff from last Easter. And voila, so all of a sudden it's completely fresh from having the candles and all that.
I mean, and truthfully, to be honest, if this is all you had around your house, that's beautiful.
It's beautiful and done.
You could just leave it like that.
But
we're not. I know you and you like to be a little extra.
We want to get a little fancy, so I love cloches. If you're going to invest in something, I've said this many times, buy a few cloches. Everything looks good under glass. I'm constantly putting things under glass.
He's going to put himself under glass soon.
Soon I will. All I've got here is a little bucket. I've got some of our faux tulips. And all I did here, if you want to peek in, a little bit of styrofoam. There we go. And all I did was put moss on top so you can't see it.
Wait, why the styrofoam?
To hold so this is just a bucket that had nothing in it.
Oh, and you built
styrofoam. Put in
the fake flowers.
A little bit of moss around the bottom just to sort of soften those edges. And you want to pop that on top.
Nice.
We're gonna pop that on top. Thank you very much.
And now look, it looks like it belongs in a museum.
Exactly, and then, you know, it's all about, I always talk about, it's all about heights to add some differences and some changes, so we're gonna do that. We'll add a little bird here, and then we're just gonna put this right up here.
Oh, look at that.
Next to our thing. So that starts to sort of step us down, you know, so we're framing that center.
Right, because you always, I know the different levels.
Exactly.
Very important.
So we're gonna do one more here, which will be our pièce de résistance.
Now, where can you get these cloches?
You can buy them. I find they're most inexpensive online. In stores, they tend to be a little bit expensive.
All right.
And really check the dimensions because some of them look big and you get them, they're small, and they come in a zillion different sizes.
And do they have any that are plastic or that?
No, they're glass. You want glass because you also want that. You want that clarity.
Right.
So I added a little stump here for height again. I'm going to find, because you know how I'm obsessed with books.
I know.
We're going to add the book there. We're going to add a bunny.
I would have never thought to put a book inside of there.
And let's see, we'll do a little clump of grass here. Then I've also got another little basket, a little wood egg that came from our little stash of wood stuff. And then I'm just going to tuck a little bit of this here and there just to sort of soften it up a little bit. And then we have this great little, you know, I've been buying secondhand books so much recently. I don't know why I'm currently obsessed with secondhand books. This one, Roses in the Little Garden, which I thought sort of set the tone for spring.
I'd be afraid this isn't going to fit under there. Okay. Ta-da!
We're gonna put it because everything looks like $1 million
Under glass.
under glass. And if you want to,
That's beautiful.
Grab that.
Ken, do you
last little
find
log
yourself
there.
going to people's homes and wanting to redecorate?
Well, actually, it's funny. Friends invite me over. You want to put that right
Just
here?
here?
Yeah, if they're having a party, say, Ken, could you come over about a half hour earlier? And I'll spend a half hour and like start pulling things out of their garage and like redoing, because it's amazing what you can find. Whoops, hold on here.
There you go.
Just give me a
little.
second.
Just have to be. Oof. Okay.
So now what you can do to keep stuff like that, I have the glue gun here, so you can use glue gun and a little double stick tape.
Oh,
what you
sure.
do want to do is just make sure you're not going to damage something, because it's really all about being able to use things over and over again.
Or what about that, what's it called, earthquake?
Or the quake wax.
Yeah, like gum or something?
Etc.
That's
And
beautiful.
voila. And all we spent was $3.99 on the wire.
$3.99, you've done it again, Ken.